is Jamie, and welcome to season 2 of Alphabetically Wine. I'm starting over with the letter A, and A is for alcohol. Alright, so I know you know what alcohol is when you taste it and when you smell it. You know, you feel the little burning sensation in your throat and your chest a little bit. The alcohol is what makes the wine strong and what gives you a little bit of a buzz if that's what you're looking for. Just be careful and drink responsibly though, okay? Alcohol is much more as well. So I want to explain where the alcohol in wine comes from and how it affects the wine as a whole. Let's get started. Fermentation, that's where all the magic happens, okay? So fermentation can be this complicated process, but I'm going to break it down in simple terms, okay? So basically you have yeast that can be found in the wine grapes themselves, or yeast can be added by the winemaker. It just depends. So the yeast is what kicks off the whole fermentation process. So you have yeast and it attacks the grapes and it turns the sugar from the wine grapes into alcohol. Say that one more time. You have yeast that converts the sugar from the wine grapes into alcohol. Any sugar left over after that process is referred to as residual sugar. Okay, so the winemakers, they control all of this. They control how long the fermentation process is, and they control how much residual sugar is left over, depending on the style and the taste of the wine that they are trying to produce. With that said, alcohol is a direct correlation to a wine's sweetness or dryness. You know, I hear all the time people seem to want sweet wines that are high in alcohol as well, but that's typically not going to be the case. You're generally going to have either one or the other. You're going to end up with a wine that has high residual sugar, but it's going to be low in alcohol. Or you're going to have a wine that is low in residual sugar, but high in alcohol, because that's just the science of how the wine is made. You have the sugar that is turned into alcohol. So if all the sugar has been turned into alcohol, there's not going to be much sweetness or much residual sugar left, right? So anyway, there are some exceptions to that rule. You have wines that are fortified like port and like cream sherry. They have brandy added to them during the fermentation process, so they are able to maintain sweetness and have a high alcohol content. But like in just regular wines that are not fortified, you're either going to have one or the other. Either the wine is going to be sweet or it's going to be high in alcohol. That's just how it goes. That's typical. A wine's body is also affected by the alcohol content. So if you have not had the opportunity to check out season 1, Beings for Body, go ahead and do that. I break down body in more depth, but basically body is the viscosity or the weight or the thickness of a wine. Okay, so wines that are lower in alcohol are typically lighter and thinner, and wines that are higher in alcohol are deeper, they're bigger, they're fuller, they just feel heavier in your mouth, okay? Also, the intensity or the boldness of a wine is impacted by how much alcohol the wine has. So you have some wines like Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, the red Zinfandel, not that white stuff. Those wines are really big and bold and deep. That's because of the higher alcohol content that they have. Those wines go great with richer foods like thick sauces and meat and things like that. But do not, whatever you do, don't confuse rich foods with spicy foods. If you're going to be eating spicy food like Thai or Indian or something like that, or like some spicy crab legs like I had the other week, you need something that is low in alcohol, because high alcohol and spice do not mix. So that's where the low alcohol wines come in. So you might want to do a Riesling, you might want to do a light Sauvignon Blanc, or even a Moscato. And that's basically how alcohol plays a factor in wine as a whole. It affects the sweetness or the dryness of a wine. It affects how heavy the wine is, and it affects the richness or the boldness or the intensity of a wine. So let me know if you have any questions about this. Let me know your thoughts. Do you prefer wines that are high in alcohol, lower in alcohol, sweet, dry, whatever? Let me know. And go ahead and like, share, follow, subscribe, comment, all of that. And meet me in the next video.